Good morning, America. Welcome to the Derrike Almost One Here 100 at the Dover International Speedway. I am your host tonight, Gabe Herschel, along with my colleagues Elliot Henderson and Mark Zabeka. This is another edition of FTF Night in America, as we're going to see some of the best in sim racing take part at the Monster Mile. Elliot, what do you think we're going to see tonight here?
I don't know that we'll see a lot of side-by-side racing, but you should see some contact and maybe some bumping and running coming off the corners. They're going to all be funneling to the inside off of these pretty long straightaways, and you may even see some guys slide up in the outside wall. These corners are kind of tricky and a little bit slippery, so they're going to have to watch their fenders and just make sure that they keep it clean all the way through.
Yes, I agree. Slippery and long indeed. Mark, what do you think we're going to see tonight?
I think we're going to see a nice Brian Mercurio W tonight. That's my boy every week. I like to pick my boy Brian Mercurio to win. And I think it's going to be a fun, action-packed race. And I'll hand it over to you for the start, Gabe.
Thank you, Mark. We do love Brian Mercurio in this house. As the pace car is pulling off, the field is coming off turn 4, and we're expecting to see the green flag. And the green is out. Graham Woolen is already pulling away here as we are racing at the Monster Mile.
Kevin McAdams made a move into turn 1 under Brian Mercurio, but Brian shut the door on him, and Graham leads him off turn 2.
Yeah, behind him we have Michael Cozy Jr. and the 21 car of Evan. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Looks like they've kind of got single filed already all the way through. Everyone's kind of biting their time here. This is a treacherous track, so you never know what's around the corner.
Yeah, it looks like the last time we were out here broadcasting, Derek Justice took home the W on another concrete racetrack. And he seems to be working his way slowly but surely through the top 10
we have
right
a yellow
now.
mark. Sorry to interrupt. We have an accident. Looks like the 17 car might have spun out. I'm trying to see if we can get a replay here.
Looks like Keith Sherman was also involved.
Oh, not Yolanda. Are you kidding me?
And the return.
Oh, Yolanda's dead.
Yeah, Keith got doored off turn 2.
You hate to see that for...
Oh my god, I am heartbroken here at the STN studios. Oh my god, are you kidding me?
We received word that earlier this week Sherm was rebuilding his computer and was all ready to go, had it built up last night, and tonight, his first night back.
This is devastating.
Did not go as planned.
Oh my god, I hope
Those
he's alright.
boys in the 15 camp, they were really thrashing on that machine all weekend long, and they finally got it built in time for the green today, and that's just a travesty to see them taken out so early. Those guys worked too hard for this.
Oh, I'm gonna cry. I'm sorry, guys. This is very upsetting to me. We have pit stops going on here. Looks like a 50-50 split here. We have the leaders coming in. Those who stayed out were like some of the
It looks
leaders.
like all of our top 5, except for Kevin McAdams, decided to hit down pit road and get some service.
You know, Kevin McAdams, he's a big boy. I think he can take the restart here and manage the lead for a little bit.
It's a pretty interesting strategy, only 3 laps in.
Tires must be a big thing here. I'm assuming you might see more of this tonight. I don't think we brought this up as well, but Tristan Hagenstein making his return is going to be our in-race reporter tonight. He was shocked he made the race. I was shocked he made the race. Tristan right now, let's see where he's running. He's in 38th, so, you know, not a bad start for him. Let's bring him in here as he is on pit road, if we could just get him in the studio here. Tristan Hagenstein, welcome to the booth. Can you get a copy on us?
Yeah, I got a copy.
Alright, so we're just introducing you to our audience tonight. Last time we were here, we had Arnold Columbia, and he ended up yelling at someone, so are we going to expect some of the same from you tonight?
Dude, I don't know, man. I don't even know what I'm doing out here.
Now, I see you have an all-white car tonight. Was this a last-minute entry?
Actually, I recently just got back out of retirement, and I wouldn't say it was a last-minute entry. It's just I kind of got bored and didn't want to do anything with the car, so I mean, I don't know.
Bored indeed, Tristan. Bored indeed. Yeah, anything you want to ask, guys, up here?
I was just going to ask, so I've noticed you've been going around running some sprint car races. Has that been able to translate to how you've been able to run on pavement here in these bigger races, such as the FTF Grand National Series.
Yeah, that's a good question. No, not really, because it's two completely different things. I mean, like, dirt, obviously you have a looser setup, and it's obviously completely different surface, but you know, it's kind of given me more confidence, if anything, to run with the big boys, I guess you could say. Try to, you know, just keep pace and whatnot. It's good practice, but two completely different racing setups, I guess you could say.
I'd like to imagine it's going to make you a little bit more comfortable here with how, you know, the grip level is at Dover and how much you're going to be sliding off those corners.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, it's completely different compared to a sprint car. Obviously, these are a lot more gripped up, and it's a different transition, to say the least. So, you know, I haven't done much oval racing since I've returned to racing, but it's been a good 2 weeks so far from when I've returned. So we're looking good for what we're at right now. I know we're like pretty much almost last, but you know, this is just kind of a learning experience, and we're just gonna try to do the best we can today.
Now, Tristan, did you hear the terrible news about Yolanda?
No, no, I haven't. What happened?
Yolanda was in a terrible accident on the backstretch.
Oh no.
We don't
Is he
have word.
alright?
We don't know. We're hoping to hear some news, but it's looking grim.
Oh, that's
Anyway,
too bad.
enjoy your race. Try to run that cushion that DW is always talking about. I think that's.
I don't know where it is at this track.
Yeah,
you can try to find it.
I think the cushion's the cushion's the move, definitely.
Yeah, all right, Tristan, go out there and kick some ass. All right.
All right, thanks guys.
Yeah,
All right,
drive
take care,
safe.
buddy. All right, so we got any predictions for this restart here? I think we're going to be in for an interesting one.
I'm definitely concerned. Well, not really concerned, but interested to see how the strategy is going to play out for guys such as Kevin McAdams, who stayed out here. How it'll be towards the end of this run, if they do get a green flag run.
I'm pretty nervous for people like Graham Bolin and Brian Mercurio, who are now starting in the middle of the pack back in 16th and 17th. They're going to have to make sure that they make it through without really damaging their cars and get back up to the front and see if they can stay up there.
Well, while you were saying that, Elliot, Kevin McAdams just dropped the hammer. I mean, he is gone. He is pulled away, and that's exactly what he needed to do, honestly, on this restart. We got a big check up in the back. Kyle Riley hit the wall, and it looks like everyone's going to be able to get by him.
But yeah, to touch back on what Elliot was saying, it definitely makes for an interesting strategy call if you were the leaders there, such as Brian and Graham Bolin and Michael Cozy Jr. They wouldn't want to be mired back in a pack here, especially at a track that is not the easiest to pass on, so we'll definitely see how this plays out for them.
As it looks like the 18, who he restarted up in about 17th, he's already up to 15th, so it looks like he's going to be leading the charge here, the guys who pitted. He's got Brian and Cozy behind him as he's taking it 3 wide into turn 1. That ain't going to work as we got a car around. Huge accident.
It looks like the 95 of Evan Rice just, he probably wasn't quite sure he was top 3 and just got turned around by, I believe that was the 61 of Bronson Stafford.
His race.
It looked like Graham wanted to back out of it, but at that point they were already kind of committed, and it just looked like the top 2 guys were going to collide.
Yeah. Tough
Well, you know what they say.
situation there.
Sometimes you're the bug, sometimes you're the windshield. He was the windshield there.
Yeah, it's a terrible spot there for someone like Bronson Stafford, who just, he's in middle 3 wide and just not quite sure when's the right time to back out, or if he even had a chance to back out. He just kind of thrown around like a ping pong ball, if anything.
Thing here, I'm looking going through the field. Looks like Chris Sweats has some damage to his car, as well as our in-race reporter Tristan Hagenstein. I wonder if there was a little bit of a checkup there that caused that.
So up front, Derrike Justice, Kevin McAdams both stayed out, and it looks like Derrike faked out a lot of guys behind him. But the top 3 or 5 now here have stayed out, and then you've got Graham Bolin, I think, lining up 6th.
It's gonna be interesting here. I mean, they only have a few lap pressure tires. I would assume that with the tire pressures, you know, coming back to where they were, that everyone's kind of gonna be in a similar boat here. But you know, every little percentage counts when it comes to grip.
Yeah, I'm sure Graham didn't want to line up on the outside again, but that's where he's going to end up being, and I'm not sure that those 3 laps are going to come in and actually help them at any point after this, especially if Kevin and Steve can get away with Derrike up there in 3rd.
Well, Graham is looking for a rebound night, as the last time we were at Talladega last week, he ended up finishing last as he got an early accident there, I believe, on lap 18. But give you a little rundown here as for the points. Derrike Justice has been in control all season long, and nothing has changed. Still leading the points. He has a 3-point lead over Blake Reynolds in second. Besides that, I mean, it's a ways back to the rest of the field. You got Jake Poole in third, Andrew Schwartz fourth, and Brian McCure round out your top 5 in points entering this race. Philip Kraus sixth, David Shieldhouse seventh, Michael Frisch eighth, and Sean Butler is ninth. Now, the last spot, which belongs to Shane, who drives a 38, he has an 11-point gap over Ryan Derrike. That's going to be interesting here as we get into the summer months if he's able to hang on to that. We got a lot of talented drivers behind him. That might be a kind of a move here by Kevin McAdams to get some, points for leading laps and try to close the gap, as he's actually 14th in points and within striking distance of getting in that top 10, which he needs to be.
Definitely a good strategy call by the boys in the 26 camp, trying to do something different from their competitors and gain an advantage. Now, it looks like Graham and Brian have gotten their way back inside of the top 10, so we'll see how long they're able to before they're back up running for that number 1 position.
We have wonderful news as well. Yolanda is okay. He will be returning to the racetrack. That terrible incident on the backstretch. Glad to hear he's safe, and I'm excited to see him back in the race, no matter if he's multiple laps down.
Yeah, as we come around to complete lap 12, it looks like we have 4 cars out of the race. It's Craig Hawkins back in 40th, Adam Codall in 41st, Jim Caudle Jr. in 42nd, and Cameron Hamilton is going to be 43rd.
All right, well, we're going to be coming the one to green here. You guys have any predictions what we're going to see on this restart?
I think look for Sean Butler and Michael Cozy to really make a big run at Graham and Brian here. They want to try to get in front of them and keep those tires preserved, and then get past these guys through the top 5.
Yeah, definitely. Somebody else I'd like to keep an eye on would be David Shieldhouse in the 20 car. A lot of momentum in that camp, as one of his favorite drivers, Matt Kenseth, announced he's returning to the NASCAR Cup Series. So a lot of momentum going forward for him as he can try to win a race and be happy for that group.
Yes, that is a big news that happened this week as well, with the return of racing on May 17th on Fox. So we're all looking forward to that. I know we've all enjoyed the iRacing game the last month or two, but it's time to get back to the track. And of course, you guys can follow us along here on the various networks that cover the FTF Grand National Series. I believe we are scheduled to have a race next week. I have to check on the date. I know because of all the changes on the Cup Series side, the dates have been fluctuating, so hopefully by the end of this race we'll have a better answer for you. But the pace trucks will be pulling in here. Should be interested to see what kind of restart Kevin McAdams gets. Once again, another great jump by the 26. He's already gapping the outside as Derrike Justice moves into 3rd place. It's going to be a theme I think we see here all night, where if you're the inside, if you're behind the leader, you're going to have such an advantage as opposed to the outside car.
Yeah, no surprise at all. You also saw Brian McCurry jump right to the inside, and it looks like the outside line just kind of fell apart at the beginning there. It feels kind of like a Talladega race where everyone's trying to get to the inside for the first couple laps, but they'll stay there throughout the run, being over.
Another thing to point out there was Derrike Justice did absolutely textbook job of closing in on the bumper of the 26 before the restart and just being able to nail his launch as the leader went. So he was able to get an advantage on the outside lane there and just really go forward and try to challenge him for the lead.
Yeah, I think Derrike's just biding his time, but he may have something for Kevin here as he stays glued to that back bumper through turns 3 and 4.
Kevin McAdams is trying to stay control of this race, knowing that if he can set the pace, he can get an advantage here as we flip the laps on. But Derrike Justice, who's been the favorite all year long, is all over his back bumper.
Yeah, definitely. Derrike Justice seems to have a grip on pretty much any track that we go to. He says that he's not very good at road course racing, but even at Homestead, when we were out there, he was pretty decent until pit sequence got him out. But he took the lead at Bristol, and it seemed like he just wasn't looking back, and I expect about the same
here. Derrike Justice
here.
to the inside of the 26. He's at the inside. He is going to complete the pass here, and then it's going to move Kevin McAdams in the second. one thing we've seen all year is Derrike Justice leading. Doesn't matter what kind of track it is, it's always his flavor as he heads into turn 1.
Yes, it doesn't matter which of the 31 flavors it is. It seems his favorite one is winning.
That is true, Mark. A very good sponsor placement there as we head on to the backstretch.
A quick point out here, we noted Graham Bolin and Brian Mercurio. They have not made any ground. They're still 5th and 6th with Sean Butler right behind them. One thing to note, the guy that was in that mix was Michael Cozy. He's dropped back to 11th, now making a pass for 10th on Spencer Preet. And that's about a 5-spot loss here on the restart. He started about 6th.
Yeah,
I think one thing you're going to see here tonight is that, yes, cars are important, but as Dover has always been, it's a track position game. It's very hard to pass unless you get a super long run. I think these guys are going to kind of start to see that as they gave up a lot of positions here just to fall back and, get a little bit of a tire advantage. It really isn't going to pay off for them. So it's going to be interesting as we go along here to see what kind of strategy unfolds as the laps click off.
And Steve Abagai looked to the inside of Kevin McAdams. Kevin slammed the door on him. It looks like he's starting to back up that line now, and Steve may be faster as Justice starts to pull away.
Looks like McAdams holding on for dear life here. I think he has a consistent car, but I don't think he has the speed to run top 3 right now, as everyone is kind of just fighting their time. I think he knows that if he lets that 09 by, he's going to be in trouble, as all these guys are probably going to blow by him, and he's going to go from 2nd to possibly outside the top 10.
Yeah, there's definitely a freight train forming behind him. Graham pokes out to the inside of Bronson Stafford. The door gets shut yet again. These guys all kind of protecting that inside line, and it doesn't look like those tires are really helping Graham. But he backed up that corner, and he comes into turn 3 with another head of steam.
I think
he just can't seem to get the nose underneath the 61 car there. It looks like he's going to get him here, though, off of 4. At least get to the door of him. Might be able to take him into 1. And here comes Brian Mercurio also looking for position on the 61 cars. They're just working their way through the field.
It looks like going to be fighting hard there because he knows that if he lets one by, he's going to get freight trained and possibly lose up to 5-6 spots. But it looks like that's going to be exactly what happens here. He's already lost 3 spots in the last 4 laps.
Yeah, Bronson cut Graham a break about a lap ago, and now he can see what it costs him. I don't think you'll see that happen very often. That's why these guys are trying to slam the door going into the corner. They don't want to get freight trained.
Yeah, it still is relatively early in the race as we're about to be on lap 25 of 150. So it's not uncommon that we're seeing people give breaks right now, but I don't see that to last much longer as we get into this groove.
This is a track where you need to be in position at the end of the race. You can't make it happen. So you have to fight for every spot you can as early as possible. So I think as this develops, it's going to be very interesting to see who gives and takes or who just takes. One thing I've kind of noticed here is that 61 is just, he's not going anywhere. It's a shame, really, that after being on relatively good strategy, he's already outside the top 10 here.
Yeah, the one thing to note here is just seeing Derrike Justice pull away, but Kevin McAdams has kind of stationed out between Steve and Derrike, and now he seems to have gotten the grip back in his tires and temps up, so he has the speed back to run second. He's actually put some distance between him and Steve.
One thing that's going to be interesting here is we click on the green flag laps here is lap traffic. Really, Dover is a one-groove track, and it's going to be hard here when you catch cars. You know, if you catch them in the wrong spot, off the corner, entering the corner, you can really slow your lap time down. So it's going to be interesting here. We're already about half a lap from lapping some cars. So I would say the next 15-20 laps we're going to be catching the back of the field. And it's going to be interesting here when the leader catches, certain cars in certain spots. Maybe that causes some unpredictability here as the laps click off.
What I've noticed is Graham Bolin has been backing up his corners with Brian right behind him, and they've really had some head of steam lately. They're starting to catch Kevin McAdams now, and they're running a little bit faster than your leader, Derrike Justice. They've cleared Steve Abagai, who's now stuck back in 4th, and they are on the charge.
On the charge indeed, Elliot. That's a great point.
Now, we never really got to go over picks for this race. I know I picked Brian because I pick him every race, but what do you guys think? Who do you think is going to take the W tonight?
Well, as much as I love Brian Mercurio, it's hard to bet against the 31 car. He has been rock solid all year, and I think, as he's done so far, he's going to continue to get the job done. Elliot, who are you thinking in this race?
Well, I'd be, you know, a little upset with myself if I didn't just go with Graham Bolin. He started on pole. He's probably got the fastest car here. I didn't agree with the strategy on lap 3 to pit, but he's put himself back up into second, and I think he's going to come after Derrike and take this thing to the house.
Great pick as well. I can't say that's a wrong pick.
Oh yeah, definitely good picks across the board. So we'll see whose driver is the better driver tonight, or if we're all just wrong.
In the meantime, looks like something might have happened to Tyler Clayball. He's on pit road. He's lost 3 laps. I don't know if we're going to be able to find a video of what happened to him, but it looks like the night's going to be over for the 42 car.
Michael Cozy seems to be struggling back here. I was looking for him to start to catch Sean Butler and those guys up there, but he's now dealing with David Shieldhouse and Cosman back here for about the 9th, 8th position.
Yep, Cosman in the John Gerard sponsored 84 car. He is making some good passes here. He's been coming up here the last few laps. I don't know if it's the tire difference or what, but Michael Cozy is really struggling, and I'm kind of surprised to see him slipping back this far.
The other hard charger coming up here, Michael Frisch started 33rd. He's up to 13th. Bronson, obviously, as we have a yellow.
It looks like Tristan Hagenstein, our in-race reporter, smacked the wall off of turn number 2. I don't know if that's what brought out the caution, but I was paying attention to him, and as soon as he hit the wall, that's what brought it out.
Looks like there was a spin on the front stretch here, if we can get a replay of that. Can't exactly find what car it was, but we did have
I believe
one
Nick
spin.
Baker was involved.
Oh. Yep, Nick Baker, get ready for the dumpster picture in the group this week.
We got some takers here on pit road. It looks like Kevin McAdams will finally be going down pit road, as well as the rest of our leaders.
If I'm the 26 right now, I'm ecstatic. This is exactly what he wanted. A little run here to bring everyone down. He's able to maintain his spot, and this is going to work out well for him, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely. This is also kind of a break for someone like Michael Cozy Jr. just to see what his issues were there and if he can get this race turned around for him.
Derek Justice is going to win the race off pit road. Looks like Graham Boland's going to come out second, Brian Mercurio, and Kevin McAdams in 4th. So relatively same running order here. Let's see if we can get Tristan Hagenstein. Let's see if we can get update on how his race is heading here. Tristan Hagenstein in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, 10-4, what's up?
How's everything going for you so far? Looks like you might get on the wall a few times.
Yeah, we struggled on the long run there, but I don't know why they're messaging or saying 82 in the chat. I don't know, but anyways, sorry. We're doing good. We hit the wall a few times.
Yeah, we see that.
And that was fun. we lost a lot of speed because of it, but we're just, like I said, we're just trying to learn the track a little bit, trying to get comfortable out here, and that's all we can do.
Understandable. Did you try to work in that cushion we were talking about? I know that's something that a lot of the dirt guys do.
Negative. There is no cushion. I found that out the hard way.
Alright, well, just keep looking a little bit.
Look a little more, you said?
Yeah, look a little more. I think you'll be able to find it.
And we might be able to
Yeah,
find
maybe
it.
you don't know.
We'll figure it out, I suppose.
Just
Tristan,
use the
please
arrow
open
to
your
stay off
eyes.
the wall.
What's up?
Just use the arrow to stay off the wall in corner exit.
Oh, I suppose. Maybe.
Let's just keep the side a little bit more clean than where it's at now.
Alright, we'll do a little more. We'll
Come
do a
on,
little more
we
right
gotta pay
turns.
for that, man. This isn't
Or-
a free thing.
Or at least start to hit the inside wall a little bit, make them look even.
We'll cross that bridge when we get there, I suppose.
All right.
Yeah.
How are you guys doing?
Doing all right up here.
Doing alright. Yeah, I'm getting a little
hanging
tired. I
out.
want to see a little more action, but you know, is what it
Yeah,
is.
well. Hey,
Anyway.
you came to the wrong person. I'm just riding around here having a jolly old time.
I would prefer if you get really bored, if you could just drive backwards or something, you know, get a
Drive
little action
backwards?
going in this.
I'll take out the 31 and make it a little more interesting for everyone. How about that?
Well, yeah, I mean, if you could have a brake failure while they're lapping you, I think that would be the best case scenario for all of us, you know?
Yeah, 10-4.
Now, so
All right.
Tristan,
Yeah.
I'd like to ask you again. Do you think driving your sprint car had any correlation to the possible outcomes of you hitting the wall off of 2?
Potentially. I mean, I'm used to the car being a lot more loose, and these cars are a lot more tight, so,
Well, maybe
Pretty
next time you
much.
come in here, you'll have a better excuse. All right, Tristan, we're going to let you focus on this restart here. Good luck, have fun, and drive safe out there.
Alright, thanks, guys.
All right.
Hopefully safer than how he has been driving. Something to note coming back to this restart, Michael Frisch up to 10th from 33rd. Butler and Cozy both outside the top 10 after starting 7th for Butler and 3rd for Cozy. We'll have to see them work their way back up yet again.
Well, Mark, we may want to keep an eye here out on Brian McCurry. He's going to be in that inside lane behind Derrike Justice, so it should be interesting to see what kind of restart he gets here. As the pace truck is pulling off, we are about to be green once again here at the Dover Raceway. And Derrike Justice with a launch, with Brian McCurry follow. Graham Bowling got left on the outside there, as they are pulling away in the turn 1.
Let's see what we can do here with the monster.
Mark Sabeka has become a robot here as we exit onto the backstretch. Once again, Brian Mercurio and Derrike Justice make out the top 2 as it looks like Kevin McAdams is about to get past here for 4th place here by the 09. He left the door open on the inside. He might get freight trained here, Elliott.
Yeah, Kevin's going backwards, but what I noticed was Frisch went from 10th to 7th on that one lap, so I'm watching him work his way through as he passes McAdams for now the 6th position. Watch that 58 car to work his way up into the top 5 and see how far he can take that run.
Yes, Michael Neil Patrick Harris is moving up into the top 5 here as he is trying to make a move here, looking on the 38 here. As honestly, it's starting to get a little stacked up behind these guys. They're all over each other.
As Mercurio made a move on Derrike Justice, I think Derrike just moved over and let him go, said you can lead a few laps. Brian Mercurio to the point, Justice in 2nd, Bolin in 3rd.
That is what we love to see. Brian Mercurio taking the lead on lap 41 of the race. The fans are going crazy.
They're holding
Brian
up 41
Mercurio.
fingers for Brian
41
Mercurio.
fingers for Brian Mercurio as he leads at the Dover Speedway.
These fans are going absolutely nuts for
The
Brian.
grandstands are shaking. Oh my god. Hopefully we can make it through the end of this race without all the 41 fanatics freaking out. Oh my goodness.
Junior Nation can eat their heart out.
Well, that's about all the action that's gone on lately. It's single file through the rest of the field back to about 20th.
That's very typical of Dover as the lead is tightening back up. Derrike Justice might have just let him by the lead a lap as he's back all over the 41 car.
I believe they had a rearrangement there to say you can lead lap 41, but I want it back as soon as I can. Justice back to the rear bumper. Can't make the move happen yet. However, they have driven away from Graham Bolin and are continuing to do so. It's a 9/10 of a second lead for Mercurio back to Bolin in 3rd.
Brian slipped up a little bit there, opened the door just a tad, but wasn't able to pounce on it was the 31 as he's going to be about a few car lengths back entering turn 3. Brian Mercurio is very smooth most of the time. He's very good at holding his lane and just hitting his marks every lap. So I wouldn't really expect a big mistake from him as he's used to racing with competition like this.
We haven't talked about Steve Abagai or Shane Therian, but they were just battling it out for 4th. Steve's going to hold that spot over Shane, with Frisch following closely in 6th. Right now, Bolin is still commanding that 3rd spot and keeping even with Brian in the lead.
Now, Shane entering this race is holding down the last transfer spot in the playoffs, so hopefully he can have a really good run here to maintain where he is. Kind of an interesting season for him. It's been all over the place, but one thing that's been good about it is he's been consistent. So, you know, despite struggles at Miami, as he's going to take a look here on the 09, he's been able to maintain and just fight his way through, and that's going to be the motto that gets him through the rest of the season here.
Yeah, definitely. He's been one of the more consistent drivers. He's out here every week just grinding away at it, and that's definitely what's paying off for him, getting him inside the playoff bubble.
And Michael Frisch up to 5th now again from that 33rd spot. And Shane Therian does not look like he's done. He is to the back bumper of Graham Bolin and wants to make a move for 3rd.
Kind of surprised here. Graham Bolin is not taking off that well. Maybe he's trying to save some stuff for a long run, but the 38 is looking to the inside. Not going to be able to complete it into turn 1. Looks like he might be setting him off to get the run off the corner, and that's exactly what's going to happen here. He's going to have a run off. I don't think he's going to be able to complete the pass, but strong showing here from the 38, going against some of the best on the sim.
Just a quick update from Sean Butler and Michael Cozy. I know I keep mentioning them, but they were running in the top 5, top 10 a while ago. Cozy has dropped back to 12th since restarting 11th. Sean Butler has only gained 2 spots to go from 15th to 13th. Those guys still trying to make their way back up there, but obviously passing here is a little easier said than done, and they're finding it hard.
Yes, Elliot, we all know about your giant crush on Michael Cozy. As we get back to the lead here, we do have Brian Mercurio. He is getting pressured once again here from Derrike Justice. Derrike Justice all over the back bumper. Looks like he gapped him a little bit off the 4, but in the 1, I think he's going to be able to maintain the lead.
Something else that hasn't been mentioned very much today, but this is just not looking like it's going to be a good points day right now for second place in points, Blake Reynolds. He only had a 3-point gap from the points leader, Derrike Justice, going into this race, but he has been pretty silent most of the day, and unless he gets up there and starts fighting for it, he's just going to make that gap even bigger, when today would have been a good day for him to pounce on that.
It is true. I don't believe Blake had a good run here the other night.
Sorry, Gabe, he almost got himself into a little bit of trouble there, too, when Shieldhouse checked up in front of, I don't know who Evan Brinker, sorry about that. And I think Blake almost got in the back of Evan, but they made it all work out. But Blake has been struggling back there outside the top 10 currently.
Very uncharacteristic of Blake. He's usually one of the front runners out here, but sometimes just crew misses the setup, but they got to keep adjusting on it. Who knows what the deal is with that 3 team right now.
Graham Bolin seems to have found a little bit of a stride. He's knocked 2/10 out the last couple laps. It looks like an 0.8 of a second gap as they cross the line. This time it's about the same, actually still 0.8. So he's starting to close back in, but he may still be saving a little bit for the longer run here.
Back to the lead here. It looks like Derrike Justice has backed off a little bit on Brian Mercurio. Brian Mercurio been very smooth every lap. It looks like he's just hitting his line. Derrike Justice might be saving a little bit here, trying to pressure that 41 into mistake, but right now as we work lap 52, it's all Brian Mercurio here at the Dover Speedway.
Yeah, definitely. As we run into a little bit of a green flag run here, I'd just like to thank all of our viewers right now on the STN Racing Network YouTube channel. I'd like to give a special shout out there to Warren Rosario, better known as Rockmoon26 on the YouTube world. He's always out here watching our streams anytime we are broadcasting FTF, so a shout out to him.
We also like to give a shout out to Jared Mackey, who unfortunately was not able to make it tonight. He's suffering from ligma, so we're hoping he can heal up quickly and be back here for our next broadcast here, I believe, at the Charlotte Motor Speedway in about 3 weeks.
I want to give a quick in-race shout-out to Bronson Stafford. We talked about him earlier. Started 38th, played that first lap strategy, or that third lap strategy of staying out. He had worked his way up to 13th. As I say that, he drops to 15th, but he's still up there in the top 15 after starting basically shotgun on the field. Kudos, Bronson.
Definitely an impressive feat by the 621 group. It's not easy to pass here, and he figured out a way to get himself up into the top of the field, and now he's just trying to find a rhythm and make it work for him.
Well, Michael Frisch going to work on Shane Theory, and there's a lap traffic to the inside, the 33 car, but we've got a battle for 4th, and it looks like Frisch will clear Shane in the middle of 3 and 4 here as he sets sights on Graham Bolin now.
Well, Frisch is having a great run tonight after starting in the 33rd position, moving his way up the field, cutting through it like nothing.
I think I'm also very impressed with Kevin McAdams. He kind of made that strategy work. I know he started up front, but it didn't seem like he had the pace to run up there. Since that strategy happened, he's really held the car together, and on this longer run, it seems that he saves his stuff enough, and now he's pressuring the 09 of Steve Abigoy for the 6th spot, and he actually looks to the inside here in 1 and 2.
Kevin McAdams, he's a very big boy, and he's not afraid to get down with some of the best as he gets by the 09 here and sets his sights on the 38 car. Always a threat on the track. He's going to make sure everyone knows he's here tonight racing.
We're talking about Blake Reynolds. Since we talked about him, he's gained 2 spots up to P9. Looks like he was saving his stuff. He's looking at Cosman and Steve and Kevin McAdams all in front of him, chomping at the bit to try to work his way to the top 5.
NASCAR Coca-Cola Racing Series driver is all over the back of the the 84 car as he looks to the inside. Looks like he's going to be able to complete the pass here. He's side by side with him in the corner. Cosman's going to let it by. He sets the sight now on the 09, who is slipping back every chance that it seems like he gets.
Now, a driver I'd like to give a call to for this race is the number 28 of Ryan Williams. He's just kind of out there running about 20th spot, and I believe he is the title sponsor of the race, which is why it is the Derrike Cope One Here Once 100. So shout out to Ryan for being supportive of the league and being a big-time Derrike Cope fan. You love to see that for the 28 guys.
Fun fact, me and Elliot Henderson actually raced against Derrike Cope the other night. We had to teach him how to use a fast repair. Very nice guy, but I'm glad he's able to learn how to use fast repair for his future endeavors into the iRacing simulation.
The event that we were in was a Talladega Starcom Invitational, and unfortunately it did not go well for the two main Starcom drivers, Derrike Cope and Quinn Houff. I remember coming off pit road and seeing Derrike Cope's destroyed car sitting on the apron as he was plowed under caution by someone else. But it was fun to be able to race around them and talk with them a little bit throughout the race. And looking forward to seeing them on the service at a later point as well.
Yes, the driver
my
who won that event.
mistake, I'd like
You
to
go ahead.
correct it real quick here. Ryan Derrike was actually the sponsor of this race, but I see Ryan Williams and Ryan Derrike are both big Derrike Cope fans. So shout out to them for being supportive of the Derrike Cope camp and the entire Starcom Racing organization.
Yeah, Ryan Derrike is having a decent run tonight. He started 19th, running 18th right now. You know, runs like these are important here. You might not be the best car every week, but you need to be able to put together a solid finish, and it looks like he's been able to do that so far. Going back to the Starcom event, Michael Cozy Jr. actually won that race. Me and Elliot were partaking in that, and we had some for him, but unfortunately with the super speed races, they don't usually end up working out. But yeah, congrats once again to Michael Cozy as having a decent run tonight. I'm sure he'd like to be running a little better. Currently 13th, they're starting 3rd. As we were saying, you know, some nights you have it, some nights you don't. So far, this has not been Michael Cozy's night.
Speaking of not having it, Derek Justice did not save the tires. Graham Bolin up to 2nd, setting sights on Brian Mercurio, now just 1.1 seconds behind the 41 car as Derek drops to 3rd.
Well, Brian Mercurio must be quivering seeing the sight of that green 18 car coming. It has to be a scary feeling to know that one of the fastest guys on the track is coming for you. Hopefully, Brian is able to hold down, though.
Personally, knowing Brian, I don't think he gets scared. I think he's out here to win.
That is true. Brian is a winning machine. Well, looks like we got some laps here, so why don't we crank it up here as we are working lap 67. And we have a yellow on the racetrack here. We have just received our 3rd caution of the night, as it looks like there's been an accident here involving Michael Cozy and Bronson Stafford. Huge accident, it seems.
Yeah, I was giving shout-outs to Sean Butler, Bronson Stafford. They're both involved in that one. Michael Cozy as well. Looked like the case of coming off turn 2 and just not having the grip that you thought you had. And that just took out a couple cars that were having really nice runs right outside the top 10.
Looks like Sean Butler was in that, Michael Cozy, the 21 car, the 09, a bunch of really good mid to late top half of the field cars were in that accident. It looks like the 09 just lost it off the turn 2, and unfortunately that's just a product of Dover.
Rough run for Steve, as he was obviously a top 5 car early on. I think he just didn't really have the room there that he needed. It may have bounced off the car to his inside. I think it was Shieldhouse.
Yes, it was.
And just piled everyone in.
Game, it's gonna help a lot of guys out who are struggling here to get a good run, but it's just part of Dover, unfortunately.
Be interesting to see now what Brian Mercurio, Graham Bolin, and Derek Justice decide to do. Graham kind of showed his hand there. He was starting to close back in on Brian and showed just what saving those tires will do after backing out to about 1.2 seconds behind Brian Mercurio. So we'll see if Brian has a way to combat that, and Derek as well.
Well, it looks like Brian's first way to combat that is to beat him off pit road, as Brian Mercurio is going to maintain the lead here, whereas we work lap 70, almost halfway here at the Dover International Speedway. As we work this yellow, we're going to head over to Mark Sabeka here for the Mark Sabeka Power 2-minute drill. Mark, take it away.
Now, I'm unaware of this segment, but I would just like to give a shout out to Arnold Columbia, who has he seems to be the fan favorite in chat right now between Eric Webler and Warren Rosario, and he has snuck his way inside of the top 10. So it'll be crazy to see what he's able to do in this race, and if he'll be able to get a strong finish for the fans.
I'm not quite sure, but we have lost contact with Derek Justice. He's not in the top 5, top 10, or even top 15. He was on pit road for a long, long time there, and he'll be starting this one from the back.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there's any damage to the car. Maybe there was a malfunction of the radio or something like that, but hopefully he's able to work his way up. He's currently going to be scored, it looks like, in the 22nd position, excuse me. So he's got a long way. And also, big shout out to Franklin Ash. He's a big fan of the program, and I just want to, if we can get the radio and the TV crew to focus on him for a minute, that'd be incredible. He is a great guy, and I hope he's having a great run tonight.
Well, we have some kind of new players up there with Michael Frisch, Shane Therian, and Kevin McAdams all being pushed up to the top 5 now, with Derek Justice being on pit road for that long time. Blake Reynolds is going to restart this one in 6th. We'll see if maybe he can get to the inside and try to make something happen and get that top 5 finish that he needs to stay up in the points race. And then you've got Cosman restarting 7th. We haven't really talked about him very much, but he's been competitive, started about 20th, and has run around 10th all night.
As we approach the halfway mark, I would keep an eye here on Michael Frisch. Him and Brian Mercurio are unofficial teammates, so I think you're going to see a little bit of work here between these guys on this restart. Might see Michael Frisch take off here with Brian Mercurio.
Yeah, anything to keep Graham Bolin out of that picture.
Yeah, we don't want him bowling into the lead. That would not be a good case here for Brian Mercurio.
It'll be interesting to see what Michael Frisch is able to do if he can get out in the lead.
Yeah, we haven't really seen him in clean air. He's been having to work his way up. Obviously, again, started this race from back in the 30s. So seeing him move up here is going to be interesting to see what he can pull off.
Also, I don't know if we mentioned it since the pit stops, but Blake Reynolds is up to 6th place, so it looks like he's starting to form a late charge here.
Yeah, we got a bunch of new players up here. Philip Krause and Kyle Riley round the top 10 here, so a bunch of different people up here as the pace truck's going to pull back off, and we're going to go green here at the Dover Raceway here. Coming up here on halfway, be interested to see what Brian Mercurio if he goes early or late here. Brian's going to jet off here at the 38 car, did not get a good restart. It's going to bounce the whole outside lane up as Blake Reynolds is going to take some of the run of that. He's going to lose almost 3 spots here, but right now, Brian Mercurio is setting sail here once again.
Yeah, that might hurt Blake later on as he ran right into the back of, I believe that was Shane Therian, and I think David Schildhouse also got into Blake, so that might hurt him later on.
While you were talking, Elliot, Kyle Riley got in the wall, and he's really struggling right now. I mean, he might be the next accident here as they are battling for position all the way through the pack.
As Michael Frisch made a little bit of a mistake on the exit of 2, and he's getting freight trained right now by the 26, the 3, and the 38 of Shane Therian, as well as Cosman, who is starting to make his way underneath there, and they just keep coming, man.
Yeah,
Michael
it's going to be a
Frisch.
killer of a mistake here. All the positions he's worked to gain so hard, he's going to have to work his way back here, all just because of one mistake.
Yeah, he's already down to about 8th place now, and here comes Philip Krause about to pass him.
Yeah, it looked like Kraus was going to try to let him in. He backed off a lot, but he just ended up getting underneath him, coming off 2. At the same time, Shane Therian has made a mistake. He's lost spots now. Kevin McAdams has gone by. Blake Reynolds, Cosman, and it looks like, is that David Schildhouse as well? Yes.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, Frisch still has yet to fall in line somewhere because they just kept coming.
And we have a yellow out on the racetrack. Looking to see what that accident was here. We were checking our STN replay, but another yellow here as we were working lap 77 of 150. Like the 81 car got turned on the backstretch. I believe that was Evan Rice got into him. 81 car, I'm checking to see who that's driven by. Thomas Hitch, haven't heard that name in a long time. So he got turned on the backstretch, so tough night for him.
And Justin Melillo in the 53 was also involved in that. He's been quite quiet today. He started 17th, casually running around 20th. Was slightly involved in that. Don't think he's too bad off damage-wise.
Now, this is interesting here. We got split strategy here.
Brian Mercurio just fake pitted, but I don't know if you're allowed to do that past the commitment cone.
I believe
I
it's
think they're
okay,
okay.
as long as he doesn't cross the line.
Correct. The commitment line is actually inside, right past those barrels now. It's not
All right,
the first
10-4.
line.
Yeah,
Well, at least you didn't hit the
I'm sorry.
barrels.
I'm sorry, all the fans. We don't mean to have amateurs like Mark Sebeck up here. I feel
All right,
terrible.
Gabe,
Please,
settle down.
please
Notice
ignore.
that Derek Justice stayed out there too. He's going to line up P3. He had climbed from about his 22nd starting spot to up to 15th through that. So look for him to try to make a move on that inside line now.
Yeah, we got a lot of different players up here. Jake Pullen's going to be up here as well, so it's going to be, Jake Pullen's actually a lap down, I apologize. Spencer Burns going to be up here, so it's going to be interesting here. Graham let him off pit road here. Derrike up the, looks like he took 2 tires, going to be up to 6th here, so be an interesting restart as we get going here, as we are past the halfway point here at the Derrike won this race or something like that, 150.
Now, something I'd like to point out here is that Brian also did not hit the arrows at the end of pit road like our good friend Will Rogers did in the Saturday Night Thunder series.
In the
Upsetting
meantime,
things.
let's get Tristan Hagenstein back in here to check in and see how his race is going. Tristan Hagenstein, welcome back. How's your race?
Hey, how's it going?
The car doesn't look any worse than it did before, so that's a positive, Tristan.
Yeah, we're making progress, I suppose. We finally got our optional fix during this last pit stop, so we're feeling better about the car now.
Do you
But-
think you're going to have anything for Andy Mango in the 48 car?
Who?
Andy Mango in the 48
that?
car. He drives the 48 car.
Where is he?
In the race that you're in.
Well, obviously, but like what position?
I believe
He's
like
a-
19th.
Yeah, he's a few spots in front
He's
of you.
19th.
Basically, what we're getting
Listen,
at is
Tristan, you have to beat Andy Mango.
he started last. You started about 37th, so like, you know, you gotta finish ahead of some of these people.
Also, Gabe, the viewers in here say that you're the amateur and that they would rather vote you off the island than me.
Alright, I'm
so...
sorry. Who are these viewers here?
Well, we got Matt Wishart, Eric Webler.
Well, I'm just
and-
trying to answer the
yeah.
question.
Sorry, I just had to say that.
Well, okay, well, we'll get back to that here. We're talking to our fine in-race reporter, Tristan, for the Cure Hagenstein, alright?
But
Or
I
the
just want to know
cure.
the answer if he's gonna beat Andy Mango.
I mean, we're gonna give it a shot, that's for sure. We've been running pretty much 25th position most of the race, or around the 25th position rather. We had during the last green flag run, we kind of fell off, obviously because of some damage, but we're feeling better. I think we have something. We might be able to crack the top 20, but I am not expecting to win or anything. But we're just gonna go out here, log some laps, and see what we can do.
Well, you're starting behind
Tristan.
Frisch, so just give him a little bit of a bump tap there. Get him going.
Yeah, 10-4.
I'd also
Tristan,
like
you
to
have
point
3
out
spots
that
to get to.
you're ahead of Chris Wetz right now. So how does that make you feel that you can be ahead of Chris Wetz?
Real good. You know, Wetz is a good racer, but I'm better.
Yes, Chris Wett's fat. Alright, Tristan, have a good run, and we're looking forward to watching you drive through the field, alright?
All right, thanks, guys.
Okay, take care.
Have a good one. Drive safe.
I'm just praying that that car isn't more damaged the next time that we talk to him.
The expectations are on the floor.
I hope
be
we
an
can
interesting
interview
restart.
Arnold.
I don't think he's on here.
Well, no, like
So we're
after
coming
the
back
race.
here to the green. We're gonna have, looks like 60 laps to go here, or I'm sorry, 70 laps to go.
We have a
Struck
new
Math is
pulling
player
hard.
in
off.
here. It looks like Spencer E. Burns is in 4th place right now.
Yeah,
so that's
Spencer E.
someone to
Burns
watch
has
out.
moved into 4th place. Kevin Curio, once again, a wonderful, delicious start as he has taken the lead.
What a beautiful, saucy boy from New Jersey out
Yes.
there.
As anticipated, Derrike Justice follows him through. Graham Bolin on the fresh tires now follows him through. Cosman back to 4th, with Kevin McAdams looking on the inside.
Oh, look at our boy Ryan Derrike about to make some waves inside of the top 5 here. What a great restart by that group. It looks like they found some speed after this most recent yeller.
Yes, Ryan Derrike, who sponsored the race and who was not Ryan Williams, is doing a very good job here. So he's going to be looking to set up. Looks like Cosman here in the next few laps as Kevin McAdams is working to try to get by him.
Yeah, those two might take each other out, and he might have 2's position, but it looks like that will not happen as he's up next to Cosman, about to clear him.
Behind them,
Cosman
they are
almost
lining
doored
up.
him.
We got the 38th behind him, Spencer Esports Burns behind him, the 37. They are all lined up here, ready to pounce.
This is not going to work out in Cosman's favor. He's going to go from about a 3rd or 4th place car to probably outside the top 10 if all this flows the way it's going right now. He actually shoved himself down in line, so he'll stop the bleeding for now.
Well, good. It was a good thing he was able to put a band-aid on that. As back up front, Brian Mercurio is setting the pace. Derrike Justice is on him again as we have a change for 2nd place. It looks like Graham Bowling is moved up and he is getting ready to pounce into the 41.
Here come the fresh tires. There's no saving for Graham Bolin anymore. Might as well put them all to use and try to distance himself from the other guys that are on fresh tires like Kevin McAdams and Shane Therian.
He's getting all over the back of the 41 car. Brian Mercurio cannot make a mistake right now if he wants to hold this lead, as the 18 is going to have to run off the corner. Will Brian Mercurio be able to hold on here any longer than he's been able to?
That 18 car just looks like it's on rails right now. If he can get as close to, it looks like Brian bobbled there a little bit. That might be what the 18's looking for here on the exit of 2.
18's going to take a look on the inside. Is he going to be able to get into the quarter panel? Brian gives him a lane. 18 to the bottom with help from the 31 behind him.
Brian's still gonna put his bumper down in there, and it looks like they're gonna make a little contact.
To the inside goes the 18. Brian's gonna give him plenty of room here. Open the door. Wise move by the 41. Put the 18 to the top of the pylon with the 31 coming behind him.
Brian pinched him hard off of 2 to try to make that happen, but obviously Graham had to run and wasn't going to back out. Justice to the inside off 4. Door is still closed. Graham holds the lead and may be able to check out now on those fresh tires.
Looks like Brian knew what he was doing there. As soon as he realized he pinched him, he gave him a lane. But right now, it's all about Derrike Justice and Graham Bowling. All
Brian's got
1-2.
pressure
and the
from
38
Sean
car on
Therian.
fresh tires. He's up to the 41. Who saw this coming?
The tires have changed the game. Shane Therian is also putting it all on the line now. He's closed up to Brian Mercurio. He's got the speed. He looks off 4 to the inside. He'll try to make a move into 1.
Yeah, I don't expect Brian to last inside this top 5 for much longer. It looks like he's just getting a bunch of guys on fresh tires breathing down his neck. Even Kevin McAdams and Blake Reynolds look like they're in striking distance of that, as Blake Reynolds makes a move on Kevin McAdams there, but they're right there in striking distance of a top 5 position.
Yeah, don't look now. Coca-Cola driver Blake Reynolds up into the top 5 like we've been expecting all night, and on those fresh tires once again trying to close in on these top 4.
But right now, Brian Mercurio is back under pressure from Shane. Looking to the inside. Not going to be able to get to him in the inside this time, but Brian Mercurio is just trying to hold on here as Graham has continued to pull away here in the 18 leading this race as we come up here on 60 laps to go here at the Derrike Cope whatever 150. As with a yellow flag is out, we have another accident.
That was
That
an
looked like
admin
Cosman.
thrown caution.
Cosman and Schildhouse got together down the backstretch and put Cosman on the outside wall, and it looks like it collected Gary Waterworth, and I think Evan Brinkner was also in that.
So during this yellow here, this is going to change. I believe you're going to see everybody on pit road here. I think this is a huge break for Brian and everyone else that stayed out here.
Spencer Burns was actually collected as well.
Spencer East Sports Burns is in trouble, but hopefully he's able to gather it back up and maintain that rest of this race.
Yeah, not much damage for any of those cars, but a slight bobble from Cosman, and Shieldhouse kind of ran out of room there, put him in the outside wall, and that was all she wrote.
That was all she wrote indeed, Elliot. But during this yellow here, we're going to take some questions here from the YouTube audience. Use the hashtag Mark. That's right, the hashtag marked if you want to have any questions answered by Mark Sabetka.
Yeah, we're not taking questions, just Mark Sabetka is taking questions.
If you have any questions for Tristan, you also can use the hashtag Mark. But questions for both me and Tristan in the chat, in the YouTube chat right now.
Who will win the race off of pit road?
Probably the car with the fastest stop and the track
Derrike
position.
Justice has won the race off of pit road.
I believe he took 2 tires too, so that is going to flip things up a little bit.
I think he's banking on a short run here, to be honest with you. As long as he can control the restart, that outside lane is deadly.
To answer your question, Eric, I'll answer that on Discord later tonight, but I will refrain from answering that on the broadcast.
Well, I think this is basically the top 5 that we expected to see with Derek Justice, Graham Bolin, Brian Mercurio, Shane Therian, and Blake Reynolds.
It's open for interpretation, Eric. But yeah, definitely, these guys are exactly who I expected to see up here in the top 5. Not necessarily Shane Therian, but he seems to know what he's got out here, and he was pretty sporty out of Bristol, so I can't say I'm too shocked.
It'll definitely be interesting to see what Derek Justice can do on those 2 tires. I don't think we've seen anybody play this strategy yet, especially after that decent run that we just had. We obviously saw 3 laps, and 4 tires was enough for Graham Bolin to kind of make his way back up to the front from about a 7th or 8th place starting spot. So we'll see what 2 tires does here.
Alright, yes, Eric, I will answer that question. Now, Tristan's race, it started off out in the 37th position, just barely scrubbing his way by into the show. He had a few scrubs with the wall, as that seems to be the word of this recap. Bounced off the wall a couple of times, got his bearings, and now, after a few cautions, he is up inside of the top 20 for this upcoming restart.
Yes, indeed. Now, we have our former in-race reporter waiting in the wings. Arnold Columbia, do you got a copy?
Hello, Gabriel. I do have a copy.
Hello, how are you doing during this race?
I'm having a fun race, actually. I'm in P13 right now. I'm just having a good time. I was trying to save some tires there, maybe make it to the end, because I knew some of these guys couldn't, but we got a caution, which is kind of expected, but you know what? You have to try that sometimes.
That is great. Now, we're actually going to try something different here on the broadcast. We are going to ride along with Arnold Columbia here while he's in the booth on the beginning of this run here. So
don't put me under pressure.
It's all right. You're very good under pressure. We're very excited here for this new innovative technique.
All right.
Were you a little bit surprised with the 12th place starting spot, or did you kind of expect to be starting up near the top 10 tonight?
I've been doing B-fixed a lot, so. Like, I know the Xfinity car, obviously the setup's way different, but I know my way around this racetrack. So, that wasn't too big of a surprise, but still pleased with the speed.
Well, you've got the inside here, so try to make it work out for you.
We're looking forward to riding aboard with you here on this run.
Now, something that I've just been told in the chat is that the 38 runs iRacing events on a controller. So that's very impressive if he's inside the top 5 on a controller.
Yes, that is.
What What a guy.
I don't believe that statement.
Wait, the 30s. You're it?
Yeah, that's him.
That's crazy. Like, good.
Yeah, he's kicking your ass right now. You gotta get up there. Come on.
Still got plenty
Yeah,
of
I
race left.
You're the only person I've ever known that has won a race on a mouse on this game, so get it
That
get it
is
together.
true.
We continue the ride
So-
on board with the 39. Here he comes, looking on the inside of Kyle Riley. Not going to be able to get there this time. Arnold, what do you think you need to do to get by the 20? You know who car that is. Kyle Riley's car.
I'm gonna let him burn his shit up. Oop. Whoopsies.
All right, we apologize for that vulgar language.
I'm gonna let him burn his tires up, and then I'm gonna pass him in like 10 laps here. So that won't be the most exciting thing to watch, honestly.
All right, we're going to continue to see what happens here.
Unfortunately, I think we did miss something very exciting. Brian Mercurio and Graham Bolin ate up Derrike Justice. Graham Bolin is your leader, Brian Mercurio second. Blake Reynolds is in third, trying to clear Derrike, but Derrike did not get a good start. Graham cleared him for the lead basically by the time they came off turn 2, and Derrike is just trying to pick up the pieces from his two-tire strategy at this point.
Well, that sounds like it could have been very exciting, but we were too busy focusing on our real winner, Arnold Columbia.
Well, give a call to Blake Reynolds right now because he is probably in the best position out
And he's
of
making
his
a
top
great
3.
move right now on Brian Mercurio. Sorry to cut you off there, Mark. He is looking to the inside, not going to be able to complete the pass, but he has a great car tonight here in the Dover Speedway.
Oh.
He did not have a good starting spot back in 14th, but he's made do with it and has learned what he needed to do to get up to the front, now running third.
Oh, we got
As
a caution.
yellow.
We got
Hey,
a
we got a yellow
crawfish.
out here.
And
Man,
to
this
to
saving
clarify,
tires is
Eric,
really
I answered
heavy
your
on my heart.
question. I said
Arnold,
yes.
did
in
you
the
bring that
YouTube
yellow
chat.
out?
I did not. I don't know what happened. Looked like a
Thank
wreck for
God
last.
you didn't, or else we would have been devastated here in the booth.
It was a Spencer Burns thing, looks like.
I don't think it was Spencer Esports Burns. We're checking the replay right now.
Oh, he just queued up his mic, that's why I said that. Not because he's a bad driver, I would never say that.
Absolutely. We would never insult anybody.
I would never insult a single person on this. Oh, stop fucking braking.
Whoa!
whoa.
Get him out of here! Get him out of here! Get him out
Yeah,
of here!
we need to
We
bring back our
apologize for that
Christian
language.
in-race reporter Tristan Hagenstein.
Yes. We apologize for that language. Let's bring in Tristan Hagenstein here while we have the moment. Tristan Hagenstein, welcome back to the booth here. First of all, we just want you to promise that you're going to use nice language, as Arnold Columbia just used some terrible language that I would not want to repeat.
Oh, that's unfortunate. What
Very devastating.
he's known for that though. So I mean, oh, I
It's-
just got rear-ended on pit road.
Well,
What was that?
thanks a lot, Tristan.
What did I do?
Tristan, we're supposed to keep the car clean. That's the
Tristan.
point.
Our
I-
crew chief, Elliot Henderson, said no more damage. And what
I'm
do you
doing
do?
the best I can, my guy.
Well,
it's just,
don't get wrecked on
All
pit
right, all right.
road.
But
Alright.
luckily, you have gained more spots on Andy Mango. You only have to pass Michael Cozy Jr. and then also Andy to be ahead of him.
You're
You guys-
It
losing
took
to
me
Michael
until now
Cozy.
to realize that we were saying his last name wrong, and I apologize to Andy Mango, but we're going to continue saying it this way.
No,
but just
we've
so everyone's
known this
clear.
for-
No, we've
months,
been known
Elliot.
this.
did
This
you
is our
guys see
third
that I was in the top
broadcast.
20 for a minute?
I did. I pointed that out
We did,
because
yes.
Eric Webler asked for an in-depth analysis on your race.
Aw.
So I talked about how you fought your way inside of the top 20.
I didn't really fight. All I had to do was pass
Hey
people on pit
guys,
road.
let's take
Yeah.
a break from Tristan. We got an interesting development
Yeah.
here.
Oh yeah,
Andrew
what's up?
Schwartz has stayed out. Maybe he's pitting.
And Ryan Narwaki
Milwaukee,
has
Milwaukee is
he's taken 2 tires. So
Oh, this is gonna be an
he-
interesting restart then.
Derek
so
kind
Andrew
of
Schwartz said mask off, I'm pitting, and Ryan Naraki said YOLO, I'm staying out.
Yeah,
So-
Derek kind of lucked out. He would have if he would have lined up third. Now he's just going to be stuck in fourth, which is probably where he would have been on the last restart if he would have just taken 4 to begin with. But that's all reset. But Ryan Naraki here is
I'll tell you
Yeah.
what, who made out really well. Brian Mercurio is in the catbird seat.
I
He's
wouldn't
3.
talk too soon. If that O2 spins them tires on this restart, it's going to be just not good for the 41 camp.
So Tristan, listen, you need one more spot here. 2 more spots to get by Andy Mango. What could you do?
I could wreck him. I could.
I wouldn't,
Alright.
I wouldn't
I wouldn't
go
recommend
with that
that,
route
yeah.
because Andy
yeah,
Mango's.
I mean, I'm just putting the options out there. I
Okay,
mean,
yeah, but I'm just saying Andy Mango's a good quality person in this series. He's
oh, I'm sure,
supportive.
I'm
and-
sure everybody here, except for maybe 2 or 3 people, are really nice people outside of sim racing. But I think the big thing here is just kind of run my line and just do what I have to do, and then we can beat that 48.
I agree. What about the 27? Can you beat him?
I should wreck him. He stole my number.
All right. Well, you also were not racing at that time.
Yeah, but everybody knows I'm the 27.
That is a true fact of life.
It is a point.
But you know, we'll take the 82. We're doing it for Empire Racing, you know.
Yes.
Yes, our boys at Empire Racing.
Do you have any
boys.
plans you'd like to announce with them, or you think you're okay?
That's to be determined, mainly because of COVID, but you know.
Yes.
What is this COVID of you speak?
Why, did
Oh.
something happen?
Who, me?
Yeah, did something happen? Like, is everyone okay?
Oh no, everyone's fine. It's just we were planning on failing Eldora again this year, but we don't know if we're even gonna make it to Eldora this year.
All right, Tristan, we'll let you get back here to hunting down that a 48 car.
Yeah, 10-4.
All right, we'll talk to you soon.
All right, we'll talk to you soon.
All right.
So Michael Frisch has made his way back up to about the top 10. He's going to restart 12th. The other notable driver was, I believe Sean Butler has retired. Yes, Sean
What, for like
Butler.
forever?
Sean Butler has been out of the race for now 34 laps. So
what-
he will
what a
finish.
disgusting event to happen.
He will finish P34. The other guy that we talked about early on, Michael Cozy Jr., has been in some rough stuff, and he is now running 32nd with a lot of damage.
As the pace truck pulling off here, should be interesting to see what kind of restart Ryan Derrike gets as we're going to come up here with 45 laps to go. The Rocky with a fantastic start, all things considering. He's pulling away. Brian Mercurio did not get a great restart. That's going to actually be a great thing here for the 18 cars. He's going to be able to pull in the second and set his sights on that 02.
Brian was dead asleep. Blake Reynolds, the same deal. They let Derek Justice and
And this
Graham
is going to
Boland
be it
in
for
line.
the 02. Sorry to
Now
cut
here
off here,
comes the
Elliot,
18.
as the 18 is going to go into the corner. He's probably, and we got a yellow on the track. What a break here for the 02.
He's going to be able to give it another go. I don't know exactly what the caution is out here for, but I see some guys with some crunched up sheet metal.
Looks like Dylan Smith hit the inside wall. I don't know if he was the only one.
This is the longest I've seen Dylan Smith last in one of these FTF races.
That is true. I'm honestly, I think if I would have bet the over or under, I would have definitely bet the under.
I don't honestly see where there was a car spinning. It looked like Dylan just went to the inside wall, but that was the yellow. It was actually Thomas Hitch and Franklin Ash that made contact.
Oh, that's a good thing for Tristan Hagenstein. We were waiting for that. Brian Mercurio is faking it. What a guy. I hope he wrecks now after trying to fake it.
Oh, Tristan only needs one more spot to pass Andy Mango.
It doesn't look like anybody wants to pit anymore, and we're in the last 50 laps, so I'd imagine they're still all going to pit one more time if there's a long enough run, but if it's only 2 or 3 laps at a time, I don't think you'll see guys try any more strategy.
That is a very good point.
How about a quick shout out to Spencer Preet? I hope I'm saying that last name right. He started 28th. We haven't talked to him really at all. He's up here running in the top 10 in 7th, right next to Kevin McAdams, behind Shane Therian. Just having a solid day inside the top 10.
Well, we got a moment here. Let's check in with Arnold Columbia again.
Please have the censor button ready. Thank you.
Arnold Columbia, I hope you come back here with some better language.
Yes, don't speak like a gamer.
Hello, Arnold Columbia. You got a copy?
Arnold Columbia, the STN Racing booth. You got a copy?
We're going to have to work on our mic over here and make sure that we can get a copy from Arnold.
Hello, hello.
Oh, hello.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Oh, I'm sorry.
I can
did we
hear you
interrupt
guys now,
something?
yeah. No, I just couldn't hear you guys. I think there was a problem with the mic.
Oh, okay. Absolutely. So, looks like you fallen back here since the last time we talked to you. What gives?
When I was leaving my pit stall, I left it in neutral by accident, and I lost a couple spots on the pit stop.
Yes. You make sure when you use the Prindle, you go into the correct gear.
Yeah, I go into the duh, not the puh.
Yes, obviously.
How does it feel to run in between Ryan Williams and Chris Wetz?
It's kind
That
of
sounds like a
emotional,
dream.
honestly, because these two, They have a long history together. If you know what I'm saying, you know?
Yeah.
Long and sweaty history.
Long,
yes.
sweaty history. A lot of it spent together. So yeah, I'm sandwiched in between them. Well, I'm on the inside, which is nice, so... I'll probably pass Ryan on the restart, but yeah, that's
Now,
where I'm at.
who do you think's gonna win this race, Arnold? You've been around for a while now. What do you think here?
Would it be a bad answer to say myself?
Yes, because you're not gonna win.
I believe in you, Arnold.
Okay.
I'm a realist.
You're gonna see something you haven't seen on Fox before, or on STN before.
Now, I'd like to elaborate a little bit more on your personal relationship with Ryan Williams. Tell me about him a little bit
Yeah.
more.
He's a great guy, you know, I asked him to paint a car for me once and he didn't respond. So, you know, he's just a nice guy.
Well, that's because
You're
he's too
around.
busy painting Dale Earnhart Jr.'s paint schemes.
Yes.
Yeah, you know.
Now, I'm not saying you're not as important as Dale Earnhardt Jr., but you're also
Obviously.
You're
not.
like a close second. Like,
Like that, like up there, like top 10 at least.
Blake Cook
yeah, I
was
would
this
say.
close to giving you the filter time contract. It was like, but it's Dale Jr. Like, maybe if you didn't have that last name, you might have gotten him, but who knows?
So, Ernie, what do you think here? Where do you think you're gonna finish?
I'm hoping for a top 10. I think it could happen. I think if we get down to it, a lot of people are discounting tire strategy. A lot of
Would you
people
like to
yelled
put some
at
money
Naraki.
on this?
Put some money on it. Ooh.
Yes.
I'd say a top 10 at the minimum.
All right.
He thinks
well,
he's
we
going to
will-
gain 5 more positions by the end of this one.
I
I
think
believe
it's gonna
him.
be wrecked, so we'll find out.
Somewhere in between, maybe.
All right. Well, thank you. We'll talk to you in a little bit here.
Alright,
Wreckers or
see you in
tenders?
Victory Lane.
All right, have a
yeah,
good
we'll
one.
see you in
Drive
Victory
safe.
Lane.
Now, right now, I'm just hoping that Eric Webler's having a good time watching right now. He's been really
I'm
active
sure
in the
he
chat.
is. He's a very nice lad. One time he gave me a piggyback ride, and it was the best of my life.
Yes, that was a good time.
Information that could have stayed to yourself. Now we
Nope,
get ready for the
everyone knew
restart.
about it. As the pace truck is back in, Brian Derrike is going to lead the field of the green. And another great start. Brian Mercurio sleeping again.
He's a little sleepy boy sometimes.
Yes, it is almost past Brian Mercurio's bedtime as the field heads into turn 1. I would not expect Brian Derrike to get back to the line this time, leading, as the 18 is going to have a huge run off the 2. Here he comes, off the turn 2. Rocky in the wall, 18 to the inside. He should clear him here by the time we hit turn 3.
Oh, that's just gonna freight train to Rocky now, as the 3 car looks like he's putting in some work on Brian Mercurio.
18 clears the 02 as a 31 as well into second place, with Brian Mercurio trailing in third now. The Rocky is falling backwards.
Oh, the 3 car, whoa.
Whoa, indeed, as the 3 car all over the back of the 02. Looks like he's going to get trapped behind the 41 car as Brian Derrike is just falling backwards as Blake Reynolds is all over the place.
Those 2 tires aren't working. Here comes Kevin McAdams down underneath Spencer Preet. That's for the 5th spot, or 6th spot, I'm sorry. As Narwaki's going to try to shove himself in front of Kevin McAdams and stop himself from falling in 5th now.
One thing, we're about to have a huge battle for the lead here as we have the 18, the 31, the 41, the 3 all under a blanket here. Best cars of the night are all coming together here as we have less than 40 laps to go here at the Richmond. Oh, I'm sorry. What track are we at? The Dover
Over
International
the Monster
Speedway.
Mile.
The
Miles
Monster
the
Mile
Monster.
in the first state.
Gabe, you've been to this track before. I'm surprised.
That is true. I have been to this track every year for the last 5 years.
You and young Timothy Pacioli. Shout out to Timmy Pacioli on the stream.
Shout out to Timmy.
Good guy.
Timmy Lewis Pacioli for the cure.
Yes. What a guy. Now, right now, Blake Reynolds is just trying to size up the 41.
Oh, we
but
almost had a
he's-
huge wreck in the back here. 38 got in the wall off the corner into the 37.
Ooh.
Yeah, Shane Therian's driving it hard to get around these guys. Spencer Preet's still up there just trying to maintain where
Elliot
he's
Henderson
at.
is lagging now as we will talk over him.
He was doing just fine on my end, but alright.
I'll tell you one thing, that 31 car is getting impatience here as we're coming up on 35 laps to go. He is all over the back of the 18 car looking, trying to move him any lap he can, just put all the pressure he can onto him. And we have the yellow flag is back out.
Another safety car deployed.
It's Cosman. Oh, it's a big wreck on the front stretch here.
Oh, the unit has occurred.
The unit has struck, and if Ryan Vargas is out there watching, the unit has struck.
Hey, I
It
doubt he's
looks like
watching,
it-
but there is a massive accident.
It looks like it started when Kyle Riley and Justin Malillo got together off of 4. Actually, it was right in front of them.
Oh,
Well, Cody Atkins got the wall. Sorry.
What
And
do you
piled
do
in.
here? Do you pit, or I mean, Brian Araki's gonna have to pit here. There's
now
no way he
checking
can
in
stay
on
out
the
there.
rivalry, Tristan Hagenstein has lost a bit of ground to Andy Mango right now. He has to pass Justin Malillo and Jake Poole and league admins. Whoa! It looks like Andy Mango was involved in the accident, and now Tristan is
Oh
cycled
my
ahead
God.
of him by a solid 5 positions. Yeah, Andy Mango was in fact involved in the wreck, and now it looks like he has just as much damage as Tristan. So, really big shakeup there in the great rivalry. As we see
And it looks like
Graham
everybody's hitting pit road here. That's going to help Ryan Naraki out very much. It'll cycle him up to a top 5 spot if he can get off pit road.
Yeah, definitely. That's exactly what that O2 group needed,
Yeah,
was
he
to just
absolutely
get
needed
out
that.
here in a top 5 spot with these boys and try to give it his all best there for the end of this one.
It'd be interesting here. Derek Justice has been fantastic on pit road the whole night, so I'm interested to see if he can get out here before Graham.
Kyle
Those
Riley
killer
stayed on
bees on the
track.
31 team, they're something else. It looks like Spencer Preet is going to win the race off of pit road with a crazy strategy of probably 2 tires.
Unbelievable that we keep seeing this happen. There's 30 laps to go in this race, probably about 28 or so when we go back green, and these guys are still trying 2-tire strategies.
I mean,
Kyle
it's,
Riley has also stayed out. Not sure if he's going to hit pit road and just get that lap lead, or as he hits the apron
it
now,
looks
he may
like
just
he's
be going
hitting
down
the
pit road.
apron, but I don't know. Yeah,
He was
I
involved
mean,
in that wreck.
the 2-tire strategies don't seem to be like a terribly awful thing to do, but also if I'm Spencer Preet, he seemed to be running pretty comfortably within the top 5. So
Yeah, that's the
interesting
interesting
choice
thing.
by him.
Everybody that takes 2 tires has had like a top 5 or 10 car, so you'd think that they would just kind of take 4 and stay where they are, but they keep trying these moves to see if maybe these cautions keep coming and they can stay up at the front. It worked for Derek Justice for a while, so we'll have to see, but you know, I don't think 2 tires will help you in the long run.
I mean, it definitely helped propel Ryan Naraki up the order, so maybe Preet is trying to get in on that cash grab, but I'm not quite sure if we're going to see them on pit road again, depending on how much this feels like the rest of the trends of this race, since we seem to be getting a lot of cautions, but who knows?
It's definitely a dice roll of if they're going to get another yellow and when that is. Now it'll be about between 25 and 30 to go.
Yeah. Looks like Dylan Smith has officially retired from the race, so nothing shocking there.
Hold
Yeah,
on
we've got
one sec.
about-
Sorry, I can't hear you. Just give me 1 minute.
We have about 27 cars left on the lead lap here. Dylan Smith, Justin Malillo, Cosman Inisu
Ignacio.
are all
Alright.
out via that last wreck. Thomas Hitch is also out. Franklin Ash. I believe Adam Kodal has finally called it quits as well after running several laps down for a while.
Okay, I got you guys now. Sorry.
Hello, Tristan. Welcome back.
Hello. I accidentally took out the guy you told me not to take out.
Oh, that's a shame. We noticed
Well, it
that he
wasn't
was
my
in the
fault.
wreck.
What
Uh-oh.
happened was, like, everybody checked up, and I tried braking for it, and then I accidentally clobbered the back of him. We had a little front-end damage, but we got it pretty much majority fixed up, I believe, so... Too bad, though, for the 48 car, and I apologize about that.
You hate
Is
to see
what it
that.
is.
Yeah. Anyways, we're gonna go back racing here. I just want to thank the fans out there for the support. Yes, I see you, Eric Webler, and yeah, I just hope you guys are enjoying the race.
Yeah, you too, Tristan. Drive safe.
Yeah, thanks.
Now, it looks like Gabe Herschel had to take an emergency bathroom break, so it's just going to be me and Elliot here for this restart.
And we're going to see what Spencer Pre can do on those 2 tires. He's laying back a little bit, not as much as Ryan or Rocky was. But the pace truck now pulls off.
Gonna be a very interesting restart here.
Well, it looks like Gabe is back from the bathroom.
No, I lagged out. My apologies for our social distancing, unfortunately.
Oh, it looks like Preet got an insane launch there on that restart. What a move.
I thought Graham was going to be able to follow him. He got right up to his back bumper, but couldn't do anything about it. This will probably help Preet with Graham and Derrike Justice side by side. They almost touch.
Each other onto the backstretch.
These guys are racing absolutely insanely hard as he misses
This
the
is-
corner and puts Derrike Justice up the racetrack, and he's going to miss several spots there and fall back right in front of Ryan Derrike.
That's what
Meanwhile-
Preet needed, but
meanwhile,
here
the
comes
18
Bolin to the inside.
18 is taking the lead here. If I'm Derrike Justice, I am mad after that. Just watch my chance to win this race go away.
It's certainly not over yet. There's still almost 30 to go, 27 to go this time by. Blake Reynolds is going to try to follow Graham Bolin into the second spot with Brian Mercurio back in third, Kevin McAdams fourth, and Derrike Justice is back to sixth currently.
How about Blake Reynolds?
Oh,
He
Derrike Justice got
Derrike
turned by
Justice
Ryan
got wrecked.
Milwaukee. Ryan's on the inside fence.
I don't believe we have had a yellow thrown yet, but I can imagine the admins aren't going to throw it.
Doesn't seem like that'll
Looks
be
like
a
we're not
yellow.
going to get one.
It
As
put Ryan Milwaukee into the inside wall. His day is going to be done. Derrike Justice has no rear bumper now. He hit the outside wall.
that's a
Derrike
tough
Wow,
break
there's a lot of
for
damage on the
31.
front end as well.
It seems everything went south since this restart for the 31 group, as we see Brian Mercurio make a move on the inside of the 3 Coca-Cola machine of Blake Reynolds. He's not quite clear from on the front straightaway, but he's got the inside lane and he's clear into 1.
This is Brian's time now. He's going to have to run him down here. You don't know how many laps you have left to grade. You don't know how long of an opportunity you have here. But with 25 laps to go, this is the typical Saturday night shootout here at the Dover Speedway.
That worked out perfectly for Spencer Preet. That puts him in a top 5 position, and all he has to do is ride. Those 2 tires won't really be a problem if he can just finish this one out.
On the flip side of that, Spencer Burns has rebounded up to 6th place after his accident earlier. Great rebound for him.
Huge shout out to Philip Kraus as well. Started 29th. He's up to 7th. These guys that started back in the 20s just avoided those accidents, and now they're all sitting here looking at top 10 finishes.
Yeah, that's one thing about these FTF races that Mark and I have noticed here since we started broadcasting them. You always see a lot of guys who start mid-20s, late 30s, and man, they are able to get up to the field and really show their muscle at the end of these races. But right now, Brian Mercurio, he has been consistently faster or just even with the 18 here the last few laps. I think he's going to have a shot here if this goes green.
Yeah, they are mimicking lap times. We'll see what it is this time by. Bolin runs a 23.114. Mercurio 23.108. They are just neck and neck in those laps, and we'll see how that works out with about 25 to go.
And
Yeah,
you
Brian's definitely putting a slight bit, like, cutting out of the gap right there, but I don't know if it's enough right now, but he seems to be pushing way harder than the 18, and I think he'll be able to catch him if he doesn't burn out his tires.
He has distanced himself from Blake a little bit, so it shows that he's catching him ever so slightly, and he's, distancing that pressure that was behind him. Blake hits the wall off turn 2. That opens Kevin McAdams' eyes. Now he has something to chase for third.
Yeah, one thing here you want to remind here, we talked about this at the top of the show. This series brings us some of the best on the sim. You got a a Coca-Cola driver in first, a Road to Pro possible pro driver next season, and Brian Mercurio in second, Blake Reynolds third, who has had his fair share of fantastic races here at the top level of the iRacing sim. And fourth place, Kevin McAdams, a long-time fixture here on sim racing on both NR and on iRacing. So the best of the best are battling out here as we're coming to 20 laps to go here at Dover.
And again, just a huge shout out to Spencer Preet on that 2-tire strategy, making it work, sticking with Kevin McAdams, not really losing time to Spencer Burns. If he can just run this one out and not kill the tires, he's easily got a top 10, if not, hopefully a top 5.
So the thing with Brian right now is he's gaining just a slight bit every single lap. He's got to pick it up just a little bit. This time by, it looks like he's lost a little bit, so he's got to hope that he can just keep that car pinned in the bottom, get a run off, and just make the pass.
He's within 2 or 3 hundredths of them, but we've seen Graham and what he's able to do with saving the tires. His only positive now is knowing that Blake hit the wall. He has no pressure from behind. He can focus on himself, run his own race, and just try to track Graham down.
One thing with Brian right there, I think hurt him a little bit. He caught Kyle Riley off the corner, and that's why I think he dropped almost a tenth that lap there. Unfortunate, but that's just part of over here. You catch a lap car in the worst spot, and it's gonna kill you. So I think with how close this race is, you can't give up time like that, unfortunately.
And they're going to catch another one with Justin Valillo. This time it will definitely hurt the 18.
Oh,
He
that's
could
a
not
big
go to the
break
outside
there
wall.
for Brian. I would call it even here, as Brian's gonna catch him entering the corner, and you can visibly see the difference that made up there for Brian.
Yeah, I don't know if Brian's going to have much more for the 18 here, as it seems he's just kind of doing what he can. He's going to have to hope for a mistake from Graham, but we will see here in the closing stages of this one.
Even that time by, with Graham catching that lap car over the 53 machine, he still lost some time there. I think Brian, he needs to pick it up here. It's going to be tough, though, with how this track has really been a one-lane groove the entire night. I don't know if he's going to be able to do it. 15 to go at the line here. Looks like once again, within thousandths of a second there, the lap time. Brian gained a little bit, but he's got to chop off more than that. He's going to close this almost half-second deficit here on the leader.
Quick update, Derek Justice is now back to 11th. That's probably where he'll cycle out of all of this after battling for the lead, or the interim lead it was for second at the time.
And look at this. Hey Mark, guess who's in the top 20? The 82 machine.
Mark is unimpressed.
Mark, our man is in 20th. How can you not be impressed by that?
Mark's internet is not working
And Mark
out for us.
Sabeka is so impressed that he's unable to speak right now. As once again, Brian Mercurio is just, and we have a yellow. Oh no, no way.
Tristan Hagenstein, our in-race reporter.
Oh no, get him in here. What happened? Oh, it looks like he got into the 95, and from there it was over. Get him in here. We gotta hear from after pit stops. Oh man. So Elliot, what do you think's gonna happen here? I mean, we're gonna have people stay out. It's only a matter of fact. We're gonna have less than 10 to go. If you're the 18, you're kind of not in a good position here, are you?
Listen, you got a bumper, you're gonna have to use it, and whoever is in the lead just needs to make sure that they get the best possible start. But I could see where two tires might work out in this one. We've seen a lot of guys try to do it. They may just try to go for it with a, what is it gonna end up being, about a 7-lap shootout?
About
You
7
may
to
be able
go,
to make
yep.
it work.
Yeah, this is gonna be interesting here. Let's see who comes in. We know tires are important, but I think track position might be a little more important.
I feel like everybody pits here. The only person that really hurt was Spencer Breedy. Obviously had a solid top 5 coming, but it was not going to be for him.
And this is shocking. Everyone is coming down pit road. I wonder if we'll see any 2 tires.
It'll do it. Come on.
And Mark
Yes, hello,
Sabeka
Mark.
is still
Welcome
dying.
back, maybe.
No one knows what Mark Sabeka is saying.
Let's do that.
Yes, robot.
Yes,
beat
Mark,
Loopy.
indeed.
I didn't see any issue getting into their boxes. We'll just have to see who may want to do a 2-tire strategy or just who comes out on top.
It looks like Blake Reynolds is going to come out leading right now.
Yeah, there's no 2-tire strategy here. It's just who beats who out, and it will be Bolin over Mercurio, Reynolds, and actually Preet beat out Kevin McAdams, and that might hurt him because now he'll start on the outside lane in 4th.
I am shocked that nobody took 2.
Yeah, I thought if there was going to be a time to do it, you kind of just do it now and hope that there's a couple of yellows. But I think all these guys know that if you're going to win, it's not going to be the most beneficial thing because it's all up to that restart. And I don't think anybody's got a big enough gap on these restarts to prove that it'll work.
Arnold Columbia actually has taken 2 tires, which has put him back into the top 10 here. Let's get a word from Tristan, though. Tristan was involved in the last accident. Tristan Hagenstein, what happened there? We were just talking about how great you were doing in the booth.
Yeah, the 95 was holding us up, and I was trying to get around him. He let the, I don't even know who it was, but he let someone else go, but he didn't let me go. And then I just kind of had enough. I'm not going to say I got him on purpose, but I did bump him, try to get him out of the way, and unfortunately I was on the receiving end of that one.
Oh, Tristan's the car killed, do you think?
I don't know. We might have something still, but it really ruined whatever chance we had at a good finish. Unfortunately, I
Well-
think we were looking really good. I think we definitely had a top 20 car, but we'll just try to salvage what we can get here. Maybe they'll wreck it up and they love you.
Well, unfortunately, I hate to break it to you, but you have no front clip, you have no rear end, and you don't have a spoiler anymore, or a deck lid, so...
Yeah, it's a tough scene out here.
Yeah, I don't know how you're gonna survive. You're gonna be going fast on the straightaway, though. That's cool, I guess.
I mean, a little encouragement, Gabe, wouldn't hurt, but, you know...
I was talking about how wonderful you were doing, and then you wrecked somebody intentionally.
Tristan,
so.
I'd give you encouragement, but I haven't seen a car that damaged in this sim
I had
for
no
about a
idea
year.
you could knock the spoiler off it. I had no idea. That is incredible.
Yeah, this
I mean-
isn't a legal car. I'm not sure why you're still allowed on track.
You
You
know,
guys hear me?
Yes.
you
Yes,
can
so far.
you can
Oh.
blame everything on the 95. I'm just, you know, I mean, I know I'm new here. I know haven't raced in about 4 years, but I know what give and take is, and that definitely was not give and take.
I don't know
Alright,
if you know how it
Tristan.
works, Tristan, but typically the car with the most damage is the one that caused it. That's just what iRacing goes with, so that's what we're going to go with.
All right, Tristan. Well, we appreciate it. Good luck here in this restart.
Have a good one
we'll
and
talk
drive
to you after
safe.
the race.
All right, yeah, we'll see
Drive
what we can do
safer.
here, boys.
Safer.
Yeah, please don't hit anyone else, for God's sake.
Yes, 10-4. Thanks, guys.
Finish it out. What a mess.
All right, so we're gonna have a restart here with 8 to go. Who we got here? Who you guys think is gonna win this race?
I
I
think
think
Arnold Columbia is
Blake
going to
Reynolds.
win after a stack up on the restart.
All right, what a terrible prediction. What do you think, Elliot?
I mean, you know, the main pick is Grant Bullen, but a dark pick is I think Blake Reynolds gets this done.
All right, well, I think we're gonna have an interesting restart. I think that 18 is the best car on the short run, so let's see what we can do here. Pace truck's pulling in. Once
18 is
again,
gone.
Another great restart. This time Blake Reynolds was able to stay with him, and Brian Mercurio just said, "I'm not going." No,
Someone
Brian
get the coffin
Mercurio.
out for the 41 car
41
because
is done.
that's an instant loss there. Went from second to fourth. He's going to have to work over McAdams. Reynolds is going to have to chase down Grant Bullen, who now is about a 3 or 4 car length lead going into 3.
Two of the best in the eNASCAR Pro Series. The Coca-Cola Series are battling for the lead here. They're stacking up behind them. Arnold Columbia on that tire strategy is not holding up well so far.
I'd say he's doing pretty fine.
Well, give it a lap. I don't know.
Yeah, you need to be a little bit more positive, Gabe.
I'm sorry. I get ahead of myself sometimes.
Philip Kraus got the wall. Shane Therian's right there. That whole stack is all backed up for about 7 mile back.
It's gonna be hard to make a move here on these new tires, honestly. Right now, Blake Reynolds is just a tick slower than Graham. We're coming to 5 to go this time. He's got to get it a little closer here, but like I said, that 18's been the best of the bunch on the short runs.
Brian Mercurio looking to the inside of Kevin McAdams, trying to make something happen for third. He may clear him down in 1 and 2, but right now Graham Bullen has a strong hold over Blake Reynolds for that number 1 spot.
Yeah, Brian Mercurio's only hope at this point is that we get a yellow and he gets the opportunity to restart in third, but that not even enough here. As the 18, the pole sitter tonight, one of the best cars all night long, is setting sail here. Blake Reynolds is trying to stick with them, but you can see the gap just going up here as we come to 4 to go.
And going down into turn 1, Graham Bullen again just not giving an edge. Blake Reynolds, not much he can do. He's just staring out the windshield, hoping the 18 makes some type of mistake or he can just get a better run through one of these corners, but both of them are just dead even right now.
Once again, Blake Reynolds just a tick slower, but he can't do anything with that. He needs to be a little faster. This time by, we're going to be coming to 2 to go here.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that Graham Bowling's definitely got this one in the bag, unless he makes a mistake here and balls it up. Blake Reynolds is not really going to have much for him.
2 laps to go. The 18 put on I don't want to say a clinic, but he was one of the best cars all night. Sat in the pole, ran top 5 the whole race, fighting his time, and at the end when the pay window opened, here he was, ready to go. As this time by, 1 lap to go for the 18 machine coming off turn 4. The credit one bank, 1 to go is in the air for Graham Bullen. A lot of good runs for a lot of other people tonight. 37 is going to come home 5th. Spencer Burns is going to come home in 6th. Philip Kraus, another great run. The whole back half of the top 5, best starting position out of all of them is 22nd. But in the turn 3, Graham Boland, he could see the checkered flag. And off of turn 4, he will tame the monster. Graham Boland is going to win at the Dover Speedway.
As Blake Reynolds almost loses it coming to the line.
And he does lose it after the line.
Wow. Brian
Impressive,
Mercurio
impressive
getting a
stuff.
solid third. McAdams
For Graham Boland.
gives a great showing in 4th place. Spencer Preet rounds out the top 5. Spencer Esports Burns in 6th. What an excellent showing by him. Philip Kraus in 7th. Michael Frisch rallied back to an 8th. David Shieldhouse takes home a 9th. And Sean Therian ends up 10th.
I have wonderful news for the audience at home. In 22nd position, Tristan Hagenstein. He has beaten Andy Mango.
Quick shout out to Andrew Schwartz as well. Started 30th, ended up 11th. A lot of these guys just kind of waited it out. Again, just avoided a lot of the accidents at the front and made it work out. But you really got to give one to Graham Boland for the incredible job he did today. And Blake Reynolds just coming up short after really not even being a name halfway through this race. He came on incredibly strong at the end and was consistently up in the top 3 and 5, making moves all night long.
Oh, that's a big reason why those guys are some of the best in the business. They know what they need to do, and they're. That's why you see them every other Tuesday night here racing in the Coca-Cola Racing Series. So. All right, looks like we got Brian Mercurio in the booth. Brian Mercurio, welcome. How would you describe your night?
Pretty good overall. I knew I had a lot of speed there. I knew I can contend with Graham and especially Blake at the end. I didn't really see a lot of Blake in the beginning of the race, but I knew he started charging up front towards the end. So I felt like I did pretty damn good tonight.
Now, it seemed like your nemesis tonight were the restarts. Can you tell us a little bit about that? It seems like it took you a few laps to get going, or it felt like you kind of got caught sleeping a few times in the restart zone.
Yeah, it's pretty tough too, especially when you're on the outside. If you run single screens like I do, you got to constantly be looking left. And because you're going so slow and you can really restart in first gear here, later is such an advantage. So I know I was sleeping a little more than I probably should have been on that last restart, but I was glad I was able to at least make one spot up.
Think you would have got him if it went green?
I might have been able to jump Graham there on the final set of stops. I know he was a little slow, and I stopped a little short in my box at first. So if I had a perfect pit stop, I might have been able to jump Graham. And if I got in front of him, I feel pretty confident I could have held him off. But it would have been tough. Graham is just so good at saving tires, especially Blake too. It would have been really tough. I feel like I could have done it, but I don't know. We had to actually get a long run to see what happened.
Were you surprised with all the 2-tire strategies that were going on? We saw multiple guys try it early on, and then Spencer Preet was the latest guy to do it, and it gave him a top 5. Were you almost thinking maybe that's the choice with about 7 laps to go there under that last caution?
For me personally, no. I usually like to play offense rather than being on defense. When you take 2, you're defending the track position that you gain by taking 2. And Dover's just so heavy on tires. And I know obviously I had a bad restart, but usually if you got 4, you can have the most traction there on the restarts. If you have 2, especially if the leader goes late, you might have a tendency to slip a little bit and you might lose anything you gained being on 2. So my mindset was 4 all the way.
Well, Brian, you had a good run tonight. Another good point tonight for you. Anything else? Any sponsors you want to thank here before we move on to the winner?
Yeah, give a shout out to the Hot Lap podcast. They're the sponsor I run here on all of my low line racing paints. Low line racing, all the guys over there who put in the effort for our Road to Pro efforts this season. All the guys, hanging out with Andrew and Kodal and Arnold and all those guys during the race. It's always fun. So yeah, thanks for having me up here. Happy I could finally get an interview here after one of these races.
Thank
All right,
you
well, thank you,
for putting
Brian.
on a show for the fans.
And Brian, on lap 41, the crowd went wild when you took the lead. The 41 car was leading lap 41, and the grandstands were about to burn down. So hopefully next race out you can do the same thing.
Yeah, I'm hoping to keep it up next week.
All right, thank you, Brian. All right, next we're going to interview Blake Reynolds. Hey, Blake, welcome to the booth. Good run tonight here. What do you think you needed to get the job done?
I don't know. I was just following Graham. He gave me a nice countdown that last restart, and we done.
Oh, you had a good night, all things considering. It looked like you were struggling early in the race, and you got track position, and were able to just run up there with Brian and Graham at the end.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I feel like I have smooth brain like the entire night. Apparently, I asked Cosman because he's in the channel with me, and he said it was a migraine. I don't think so. It didn't hurt that bad, but apparently I have migraine-like symptoms, but I call it smooth brain. So I was just kind of dealing with that the entire race.
Well,
Working
you were able
through
to
the
fight
pain,
through
we like
adversity.
it. Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
also like to point out around halfway, I mentioned that you were running like mid-pack, and then as soon as that happened, we checked back a few laps later, you were in like the top 10. So
Yeah,
I
that's
feel
the
like
one
I
run.
had something to do with that.
Yeah, I think so. I think you saved my tires for
Thank you,
me.
Mark.
Because that run, I had way better tires than everybody, and I drove from
Yeah.
like 25th to like 10th or something like that.
Yeah, Mark.
Yeah,
Mark,
there was a
Mark
pretty
put some
instant
grease on the
turnaround.
tires.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll thank Mark Sebeka. Years of helping me without me knowing it.
Absolutely.
Although you did have contact with a wall at some point in the race, was that a big hindrance at any point? We saw there was one run where you kind of slipped up, hit turn 2 a little bit, and fell back. Did that hurt you throughout the rest of the race, or did you take extra time to repair it?
You know, I think so because Kevin McAdams should not be faster than me at the end, but no,
I do agree. It's a lot. That's a lot of weight to be moving in that car for Kevin McAdams.
No, I had to turn the wheel a lot more to. I think it did. I had 12 and a half, I think, on that last stop. I don't remember hitting the wall really. Like I think I just did it.
Yeah,
and I
you
didn't
just caught
remember.
it a little bit.
Yeah, it was 12 and a half though. Yeah, and then at the end I was having to use my tires, and I was driving harder, and then Kevin was too, but everyone was driving harder, so I couldn't really hold off Kevin. And I thought I was gonna be fourth, but then got a good pit stop, lined up third, and then Graham gave me and Kevin a countdown. We just drove away.
All right, well, we had another good night here, so congratulations, and hopefully you can get him next week.
Thank you, Gabe. I love you.
I love you too. Mwah, mwah.
Love the love.
All right, so here's our winner tonight. Graham, you want to talk about how you were able to get done tonight?
Yeah, it's a pretty fun race. A lot of cautions. Wish I went green more, but I'll take it when I can get it. So,
Did you feel like you had the best car the entire night, or did you feel like you had to work for it a little bit?
I mean, I was trying to save my tires more, but we really never had a long run except for the second run and I felt like I was the fastest long run, but I wasn't like good mid run or short run when I was saving. So it was gonna be hard to win. If it went green, I think it would have been a little bit easier, but I mean, cautions are a part of racing, so I just had to deal with it.
Yeah, it seemed like you had one of the best short run cars. No one was able to touch it there for a few laps once we got going. But you guys have any questions for our winner?
Well,
I
we
just
saw.
thought-
Go ahead,
Oh,
Mark.
go ahead. No, go ahead, Elliot.
Well, we saw some contact with you and Derrike Justice. Just to hint on that, was there some arrow that happened when you were obviously behind Spencer Preet? I think it was, took 2 tires, and you were trying to get around Justice so you can get past Preet.
I was just trying to get an angle off the corner. If it was my fault, but yeah.
I was gonna say, which I know you were able to handle seemed to save the tires the best, but who were you the most worried about there coming towards the end as your biggest competition to
Me.
kill it? Oh
No,
yeah,
it was Frisch. Okay, I mean not Frisch, Mercurio. It was Mercurio.
Same thing.
yeah.
One was in
But
the front, the other one wasn't. So
Mercurio had like a better short run and mid run, and he was only like half a tenth off long run. So like it wasn't. He was really good for how much he was like pushing short run and mid run. So if he had track position on me, it was gonna be really hard to get by him.
Graham, I got a question for you.
What?
What's your favorite flavor of Rowdy Energy?
Cherry.
Nice.
hey, you heard it here first, guys.
What's your favorite flavor of Interstate Batteries?
Double A's.
AGM. Oh,
Excellent.
Yeah, I'm more of a C guy myself. But all right, well, I appreciate everyone coming in here tonight. Great runs by all of you. Congrats again to Graham, and yeah, so thank you for
Drink
being a
Rowdy
part of the
Energy.
race.
Don't
Yes.
drink Coke. Disgusting.
Wait,
No soda for me. I will
no,
drink
you
Rowdy.
have to drink Coke.
No, Rowdy Energy.
Have an ice cold Coca-Cola.
They in the same bottling group?
No.
No? Oh, my bad. Yeah,
Oh
me
my
neither.
God,
Me
Mark,
neither.
get him out of here.
Hey, Gabe,
Get him
chat
out.
loves me more than you, so get out of here.
Trying to find the stream.
It's just Eric Webler, chat.
Yeah, well, Eric Webley loves me more than you.
Trying to find the broadcast.
So are we announcing this Charlotte theme?
Well, I guess we are just like that.
There we go. Hello.
Good morning.
So, I like to officially announce, because I got Kyle's permission to do so. We don't know the exact date. It was scheduled for the 23rd of May, but that might be changing. I'm not sure. But I'm pleased to announce, where the hell is OBS, that it will be. I can't find my mouse. There we go. It will be the FTF Thunder 150. So how this is going to work. Any paint scheme from, I think I decided like Thunder 02 to NASCAR 09. If it was a car, any type of car, Nextel, Nationwide, a truck, it could be if you're boring, it could be like just recreation of one of those cars, or you could do a fictional of one of those cars. Fastest car with that theme will get $10.
Now, my question is, if I want to run a scheme from NASCAR 09, is there going to be a template available that has generic headlights?
No, because of the way the Xfinity car works.
True, I never
Well,
thought
that has
about
taken
that.
all the fun out of it.
Yeah, that's all I really would have wanted to do, is just run a car that has the generic headlights.
If it was any other car, like if it was like the National or something, I would have been happy to do that for you.
Maybe we can talk about moving it for the race.
Yeah,
I've actually tried that. We can't. We've tried.
yeah.
All right, well, I think we're ready to wrap it up here. Thank you.
Yeah, I gotta go
everyone
watch
for...
Zoe 101.
Yes, me too. Thank you everyone for watching the race tonight. Once again, congrats to Graham, and hope to see everyone at Charlotte here in a few weeks once we get the official date moved.
Yes. Go NASCAR.
Woo FTF.